Hello Steelers, and welcome to another Bench Report hobby update. This is a post Hammerhead one. I've literally just got back from the show and I thought I'd record this tonight, which is Saturday, but ready to put out tomorrow, which is Sunday. So you'll be watching this on the Sunday, but I recorded it on a Saturday. Obviously, since I got back from Vienna this week, I've not had well, the week before I didn't do a great deal, and that's why I didn't put out any updates or anything. But since I've been back, I've been able to crack on with quite a few other bits and pieces. And first up is a 3D printed building, another one. This is another one that I've finished. I just managed to. I'm down to I think the last couple of these at this point. This is another one, the ones from Sabotaged, and I now have one more here on the table, which I'm going to paint up this week and get that finished. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. Also as well, Dex gave me a bunch of SMG soldiers, Soviet SMG soldiers, so I painted those and they are now an SMG company. So this is a mix, but I just added a couple of my figures. It's a mix of Battlefronts mostly from Dex, some Peter Pig also from Dex, and then also some from PSC as well. And I just turned these into a company for O Group. So just to add a bit of flavour and something a bit different in there quite easily. The other two big things that we've been working on this week as well is I started it a while ago. It's the Sugar Beet Factory. This one is at Courcelette. Now I've been working on this week, but I've been waiting for a while because I got the sugar beet processing tanks from Paul over at Sabotaged, and I got straight into this as soon as I got back because I got those very late on before I left for Vienna. This is the one that was attacked by the Canadians on the 15th of September 1916 and captured by them. And I've been studying the photos for the last couple of months now, and I tried to work out what it is. I think it was probably a reinforced, possibly a bunker. There is mention of it being a bunker in the Michelin Guide after the war, that was written like literally about 2 years after the war, and it was still in evidence then, and it mentions it being a reinforced German bunker. And if you look very closely at least one of the photographs, you can see there is poured concrete around the thing itself, so it looks as though the Germans have filled in the factory building itself with concrete, but the bricks have been smashed up by artillery. So all you've got is this small lump of concrete surrounding the beet processors. I also did a couple of bits of scatter terrain as well with broken up processors as well, because there's a great drawing of the Canadians attacking at Courcelette, and also some of the photos of the time show these tanks lying around everywhere because they were smashed up in the artillery bombardment. On top of that, I also made another one, but this one is the beet factory at Serre. This is another photo I found whilst I was researching the Courcelette one. I stumbled across this picture, and I was looking through my bits box, and I found that Mr. Neil McGurk had given me some Kerr and King ruined walls. Now these are no longer in production. Kerr and King have gone out of business a long time ago. I was talking to Neil about this at Hammerhead actually, and he gave these to me. We were trying to work it out. He said he possibly gave them to me after he'd moved house about 9 years ago. So we're probably reckoning somewhere. I've had them for about 7 or 8 years, and they've literally been sat in a box all that time until the perfect time, which was now. So I built those, cobbled them together and put in the tanks, and just used some plasticard eye bars that I got from a railway modelling supplier. And again, I've just basically just added those, and I'm well chuffed with how they've turned out actually. I'm really pleased with it. So yeah, so that's all I've painted this week. I say all I painted, it's quite a lot. I managed to get quite a lot done, but you know, I'm quite happy with what I've done. But in the post, whilst I was away, I was just reading some First World War books, and one of the ones that came up as a reference was this one, Stoßtruppen Tactic, German Assault Troops of the First World War by Stephen Bull. Got this. I didn't know this existed, but I got this in the post. I like Stephen Bull's stuff. I've read some of his other First World War things. This is quite a short one, only let's have a look, 163 pages, and just talks. It's just a modern view on it. It's not the Bruce Goodmanson Stormtrooper book, which I also have, but I just wanted to have a look at this in a little bit more detail. Stop that. On the way to Vienna, I picked up this as well, James Holland's Burma 44. Now, I don't normally buy what I'd call popular history stuff, but I just bought this in the airport. It was in the bestsellers list, just to give me a bit of an introduction to it. He's quite a good writer, from what I can see. This is about 400 pages or so, and Burma 44 is not something I know a great deal about. So I figured, well, for a tenner. For an airport book, let's get that. See how it goes. It might be okay, it might not be. I'm sure some people in the comments will tell me happily whether it is good or not. The other thing I got this today. This was in the post as I got back from Hammerhead. This is a copy of I Ain't Been Shot Mum. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I thought you already had I Ain't Been Shot Mum. Well, I do have I Ain't Been Shot Mum. However, I always had a PDF copy of it, and I just had a printed version of it, which I then recently lent to Dean because he wanted to have a look at it for some other rules. This then gave me the impetus to buy it again because I've been thinking about it and get a new hard copy of it. So this has just arrived. It's exactly the same set of rules that I did before, but I've been thinking, really, I'm going to start look at some of these things in review. I've done an I Ain't Been Shot Mum how to play, but it was just really the mechanics of the game. It doesn't really tell you how things work in the game, if you know what I mean. It's just basically, you do this to do this to do this. Whereas a review actually gives you a bit more of a rounded view of the game itself, and what I do like and what I don't like. I think it's a great game. Don't get me wrong. However, there are a couple of things in it that I don't like, but that's because I think it's an older game. That said, I still think it's a great game. So I'm going to do a proper review of it, and I will go through it, because there's always somebody who's never seen I Ain't Been Shot Mum before. There's always somebody who's never even seen, say, Chain of Command, for example. I'm going to do a review of that as well at some point. So look out for that. That will be coming soon. As I say, I just thought, because I'm getting a new copy of it, I may as well at least do a review of it as well at the same instance. And just again to shout out there, really, Two Fat Lardies, I ordered that on Thursday, it arrived on Saturday. Brilliant, really good service there. Definitely worth going straight to the people who sell these things rather than going through a secondary shop or eBay or whatever. I just mentioned that I was at Hammerhead, so I'm just going to say hello to everybody who said hello. There's loads and loads and loads of you. I've got a show report which will be coming out this week. I'm a little bit busy tomorrow, I'll tell you why in a second. But I managed to get a couple of interviews. Unfortunately, if you're watching this, the guys from Falkirk, I did do an interview with Cameron from Falkirk Wargamers, or at least he was he was with them. Unfortunately, the visuals didn't work, and I didn't record it, but I did record the audio. So I'm gonna put something together, and you will get at least an interview with him, even though you don't see him. So I'm gonna have to fudge it together. So I do apologise for that. Right now, Cameron, but I did get the audio at least. One thing worked, if nothing else. So look out for that sometime down the week. Earlier at the club, we played a game of O Group in the desert, so that was with Kev and Terry and Bish. Kev and myself played as the British against the Italians as they were coming across the desert, and basically we handed their arse to them. It was great, really good game, really enjoyed it. So thanks for watching, for setting that up, Kev, if you're watching, and thanks for playing if the rest of you, if you are watching as well. It was a good game, really enjoyed it. Tomorrow, as I say, Sunday, the reason I'm recording this now and not tomorrow is because James Wilkinson's going to come over and as his dean, and I've set up a game of Through the Mud and the Blood because James wants to play it. He wants to know how to play it, so we're going to take him through it. Dean has already played it a few times in the past, so he knows the game. James is new to it, and he just wanted basically a walkthrough. So we're going to do the clearing a village scenario for him, and that should be fun. I don't know at this point whether it's going to get recorded. I'll ask the guys tomorrow if they're up for it. Dean is usually up for it. James may not be because it's his first game, but he agreed to it on the O Group game. So if that's the case, then there will probably be a report from that as well at some point If not, I might just leave it open. Well, I've already played this game and there is a version of it on the channel, but we'll see how that goes. Also as well, I recently made the Wagram Battlefield Visit video. That's waiting to be released. It won't be out for a month or so, but I just did a bit of history and also just a tour of the battlefield that we saw whilst we were there, so look out for that. And finally, at Hammerhead, I've mentioned it already twice now, but at Hammerhead, I went over to Warbases. I ordered some stuff, and they took it to Hammerhead for me, and these are sheets of MDF. So I've got 4 or 5 of these, but these were cut to a specific size. The reason for this is because I want these for. You may remember I was working on these trench boards. Well, I realised that I'm not going to actually be able to cut the trench itself out, the tools I have. So I looked at how Sid done his, Sid Roundwood, and he'd actually just cut the sheets of blue foam out and then stuck them onto the MDF itself and just separated them. So that's what I'm going to try to do with these. Now the deadline for, well, I wanted to get these done by the 25th of March for the Steel Warriors show. Whether that's going to happen or not is a different matter. I have got some other trenches as a backup, so I might just use those. Nobody else apart from me is going to notice the difference. That said, I do want to get these done because I want to put on this game at other shows later on in the year. So at some of the Lardy days, for example, I want some First World War stuff. So I'm going to work on these, and I will try to make a video of my process of making these once I've done at least one, so I know how they look and how they work out. But that's what I got those for. So thank you very much for that, guys, at Warbases. And then also another thing I got was this template as well, an acrylic template. They just asked for this week, and they cut that out and got it sorted. It's a 6-inch template. This is specifically for O Group, but it has a 4-inch, a 5-inch, and then the 6-inch burst circle on it. So with a square in a spot in the centre. Somebody had uploaded a file to the O Group Facebook group with this drawn out on a Word document, so I just sent that through to Martin at Warbases, and he printed it for me for about £3 or £4. Can't argue with that, can you? So perfect. So it'll be very useful for other games as well, having 4, 5 or 6-inch bursts on stuff as well. So thank you for that again, guys. Just to wrap up there and say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It all helps. I am getting closer on 10,000 at the moment, and I'm keeping an eye on that ticker as it is getting closer and closer. And I will do an announcement closer when I get to. I think I'm looking at currently somewhere between 8 and when I'm about 100 and 150 subscribers off the 10,000 mark. I will do an announcement for a competition, so keep your eyes open for that. It's coming soon. I just need to get to that ticker. Also check out the Storm of Steel Facebook group. There's quite a lot of activity in there. It's good to see. There's over 600-700 people in there, I think, at this point, and also the Through the Mud and the Blood Facebook group as well, both of which are private, but you just have to go find them and click on them, and I will let you in to both of those as soon as I see the request. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next Storm Steel video.